Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Skyman TV, the tallest man in Black Africa. When I said in this channel that William Samoei Ruto was very keen to do away with free secondary education and primary education and university subsidized education, many people, especially those who are aligned to UDA, said that I was reading too much. But now the cat has come out of the bag. It is very clear that the government does not intend to continue with free education. Many schools closed area kwa sababu serikali ilikataa kutuma pesa zote. Many primary schools did not receive their stipend. Their capitation was not sent by the government. And if they sent, they only sent some of the money, not all the money. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Kibaki was a genius. I think Kibaki and Raila Amolo Odinga, because they are the one who started the free education. And within 1 month, they had put over the enrollment increased by 1 million in primary schools and about 0.5 in secondary schools. And when Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta left the government, when he handed over power to William Samoei Ruto, the transition from primary to secondary was 100%. I remember seeing the CS education, George Makoha, going into the slums to find out if there are students who have not gone to school. But now all this has been wiped out. All this has now gone to waste. Kwa sababu, if you read, I'm not sure whether it's a Standard or the Daily Nation, they are asking one question. The headline is this the end of free day secondary school education? You know, in this channel, what we say is reported by the mainstream media maybe after 2 or 3 weeks. We are so much ahead of them. So they could not even see this coming. But we saw it a long time ago because we are always on the ground getting first-hand information. And why would William Samoei Ruto trounce? Why would he like to add something that was so dear to common mwananchi? Kwa sababu wewe nikuulize pale ulipo, labda una mtoto katika shule ya sekondari, mnalipa pesa gapi? Mnatakiwa kulipa pesa gapi kwa sababu shule nyingi sasa zimefungwa? Because when you look at primary schools wanafunzi wengi wanatakiwa, kwa mfano if you are joining grade 1, if you are joining grade 1, you should go with a desk which is about 5,000 to 10,000. You should also carry some admission fee which is also about 5,000. And every Saturday lazima uwe unaenda shuleni ukiwa umeuma shilingi 100 au 50 in the name of tuition, in the name of remedial or coaching, whatever you may call it. Wanaenda wakiwa wameuma pesa hizo kwa meno, na mwalimu anazitoa wanafunzi wanaingia katika lango la shule. That is the trade. By the end of the term, you find a grade 1 kid has paid more than 15 Kenya shilling. Kenya shilling 15,000, that is. 15,000 for a grade 1 in a school, in a situation, in a country where education is supposed to be free. The situation is even worse in high school. If you are in a national school, by the time the student enters Form 1, akiingia Form 1, na nyinyi mtajionea wakati mtakuwa mkiigiza watoto Form 1, mzazi atatumia zaidi ya about 150,000 Kenya shilling 1,500,000. Where do parents get this money? It is even worse if you are in national school. In national school, you spend about 150,000. In extra county schools, you spend about 120,000. That is Form 1. And that is Term 1, by the way. So Term 2, you pay about 70,000. Term 3, you pay about 50,000. By the end of Form 1, you have paid more than 200,000. In day school, the situation is even worse. You know, in day school, you are not supposed to pay anything. Even lunch is not supposed to be compulsory. But the principals charge Kenya shilling between 5,000 and 10,000 for lunch. Vile vile pesa ambazo wanabeba wanafaa kulipa zile ambazo ni za tuition, remedial classes, coaching, whatever you may call it. And this is happening because the parents actually have been receiving a serious summon. They are summoned by the school principals. And it is very, very interesting. Na kuna kitu ambacho unaweza kufanya wewe kama mzazi. Hakuna jambo ambalo unaweza kufanya ukiambiwa ni hivi lazima iwe ni hivi, na kuna lolote ambalo unaweza kufanya. That is it. That is how the situation is in schools. But the worst part of it is where the government watches. Is where the CS education, Ezekiel Machogu, ako pale, hawezi kufanya lolote. Ako tu pale, akijaribu kuangalia ni kile ambacho kinaendelea pale. As long as there is peace in school, they assume that everything is well. If you go to the ground, the situation is very different. Wazazi wanalia. Harabes are conducted every now and then. In some schools, parents are supposed to pay money for teachers' trips. Some teachers atiwaende Dubai, wengine waende Israel. Wazazi wagaramie pesa zao. And again, the government, ukitazama vizuri sana, utaona kwamba imekataa kabisa kuendelea na ile elimu ambayo ilikuwa pale. The situation is getting out of hand at the university. Unajua, what I've realized is that William Samoei Ruto, kuna namna ambavyo anafanya mambo. He seems to know how to contain the situation. Kwa sababu the new funding model that is being implemented at the university and higher education, utaona kwamba liko ni jambo la kuwafuga watu tu macho. Wanaambiwa kwamba if you come from a poor background, hutalipa chochote. The government is going to sponsor you. The government is going to give you all the money, meet all the conditions. But after joining you, after you are given the admission letter, the parent is supposed to pay about 30,000. That's the first thing. Mambo yanaendelea, you realize that the government is not sending the money. Today, in fact, I've received, I think the whole of this month, I've received from 5 students from university pleading for money. In fact, wengine wanaona tu channel, waniomba tu, wengine hawana hata chakula. Na sometimes nashindwa vile ambavyo nitafanya. And they plead with you. Wengine wanakuandikia barua fupi, wanakutumia wakikuomba pesa za chakula, and they are telling us that the government has not sent the money. Wengi wanalia, wanalamika pale. So by the end of the day, you realize that the transition from secondary to high school to university is going to be below 50%. How many parents can afford to pay about 600,000 per academic year? How many? Because ukiangalia these courses that they are studying, the funding model, utaona kwamba mzazi kuna zile pesa ambazo wanafaa kulipa. But in the fullness of time, we are realizing that the government is not ready to send the money. It is not sending anything. And if you are working in a university, you can let us know how the situation is at the universities. Or if you are a university student, tell us here how the situation is. Kwa sababu mambo ni mabaya sana, kwa ukweli wa mambo. The government is messing up completely with the education sector. Just like it has messed up with the health sector. In fact, it is even trying to hijack the responsibility of the county government, because I know very well it is the responsibility of the county government to deal with the health sectors. But tunaona kwamba kwa sababu ya tamaa ya pesa, unaona serikali kuu ikiigiza vidole vyake in the national coffers in the name of universal health care. So I don't know what you think about our education, but I think it is collapsing as reported elsewhere in our dailies. That is the conversation that I want us to have today, because unless we point out at the weaknesses of William Samoei Ruto's administration, I think things are going to get out of hand. I don't know, but let me know what you think. This is Skyman TV, the Postman Black Africa. Kindly like this video and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.